Kangi stukje ngerjungpe, tawa tamcha spangpe chir, tampe chosning stonzatpe, gotam tela chakzalo. Gongsa lame namdin, tamshat kenjing zixpa chenpo chok, rimboche langyas, geshes tang kanpo langyas, pakspe gendun langyas, Chomzatma langyas, diringika pepsazatkane skundonpa langyas, zamlinge kaksosone pepsazatkane taldanpa mimang langyas, ngatang changma kenano, diringe ir sachan jakpo, diringe ir chinlapchane jakpo, ngatang changme tinchan savela me, skui tungskare tusla, Gargas kiskit nang yampong atang sang merciano. Diring iskui tungskare
on this celebration
dunju
of
torgu peskaps. Sangme sangan la ye skuja kalon pema chonjor skundun la
I would like to request the Tibetan Cabinet Minister of Religion and Culture
to convey the message of Central Tibetan Administration. Honorable Kalon Pema Chinjor.
Chuna Kosa Change Chombo Country Chupa Chombo Chulu Goto Duncha Tekula Pepi
on this 79th
Kasha Ke Sunshe
the celebration of the anniversary of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama,
Sati Jati Yozo Jingada, Kosu Chiji Jabo, Pekha Jelhaka, Pachun Jinda Unchu, Me Nomba Pemi Yochin Gocha to Lana Mepio, Uchi Juno Kosa Change Chambo Tonche Chamba, Jatu Kuntichus, Chijumba Chambo,
Dalai Lama,
Gumbi let the Cheng and Mena, Jitsun Jombang all also. Ishi Tenji Janto Siso Onja, Suba maybe, De Pe Sombo Cho, Chulo Kudo the Jetekala Pepe, Kui Chuka Chetuche.
So on this occasion of the 79th birthday celebration, the Tibetan cabinet minister and all the Tibetans in and outside of Tibet would like to greet you, Your Holiness, from the depth of our heart, as you have pledged that you will live until the age of 113. So I would like to take this opportunity, and also I would like to honor your parents, Chojung Sering, the father, and Digi Sering, the mother. Except to give this 33rd Kalachakra initiation in Leh-Ladakh, I would like to thank you from the depths of my heart on behalf of everyone gathered here. So everyone who loves peace and justice, and all the Tibetans around the world are celebrating this occasion. So with your kindness, you have looked after us, the Tibetan people, and we cannot repay your kindness, however much we make offerings to you, by filling the whole world and the universe with offerings. So this year is established by the Central Tibetan Administration as the year for paying our gratitude to Your Holiness. And next year, on the 5th day of the 5th Tibetan month, we'll also have a grand long life offering, puja offering for you. I will not read all the speech from the Kasha, but I'll just give you the brief gist of it. So at the age of 5, His Holiness was enthroned in Lhasa, in Tibet, and until since then, until now, when His Holiness is now 79, of course, I will not be able to recount each and every deed of His Holiness the Dalai Lama over these decades. Many years. But since His Holiness came to exile, the Tibetans, in order for us to be well established, Tibetan settlements and schools were established in exile, and so far we have been very successful to keep up and preserve and promote our own culture and language tradition. It is all thanks to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So from this year, with a long so on in the year 2011, His Holiness the Dalai Lama very graciously asked Tibetans to elect our political leader, and since then His Holiness, since 2011, His Holiness the Dalai Lama resigned from the political responsibility. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama is the only hope, the sole hope of the Tibetan people in and outside. But he devolved the political responsibility to the political elected leader. So for the sake of Tibetan people and our culture and religion and so forth, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, since he came into exile, His Holiness received many prestigious awards, such as Nobel Peace Prize and the gold medal from America and so forth. So perhaps we may be able to, we can say that there's nobody like His Holiness who received such prestigious, so many prestigious awards from around the world. And then we got to Buddhism in the world, which is considered very deep, and vast, and precious, and sacred. And Tibetans have been able to establish over hundreds of Buddhist centers around the world. And then with regard to the resolution of Tibetan matter issue, we are following the middle way approach, just as His Holiness started. In accordance with His Holiness' noble vision, we are trying to have negotiations with the Chinese government, this PRC. And we still hold on to that approach, the middle way approach to resolve our issue. And Tibetans inside Tibet are very dedicated to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and we consider that very sacred. And over 130 Tibetans inside Tibet have self-immolated themselves, demanding that His Holiness should be invited back to Tibet. So without saying much, in the end, I would like to all the visions of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and His Holiness's advice serve as the basis for the current Kashaks, cabinet ministries, policy, and we are doing our best serving. So in 2011, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, seeing the purpose in doing so, devolved, passed on the political authority to the elected political leader. And with the help of all Tibetans from inside and outside, supporting the current administration, we have been able to work successfully. So people who love peace and justice around the world have been supporting and who have supported our cause. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for their help and support. And finally, I would like to request His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long and may the sun shine in Tibet on this occasion, the 6th of July, 2014.
Tugeche Kalon Pema Chinjors Kundun. Now I humbly request Honorable Speaker Penba Chiring to convey the message of Tibetan Parliament CTA. Honorable Speaker Penba Chiring.
Celebration of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. We are celebrating it with His Holiness the Dalai Lama presiding over this occasion. And I'd like to greet Gaden Rinpoche and all the great lamas of the different religious traditions and abbots and lamas, Rinpoches and monks, and also the minister of the German Kashmir, and also its ministers and all the council members of the Leh-Ladakh Hill Development Council, and everyone gathered here. I would like to greet you all. As our Colin had just said, because we are having a very short celebration here, program here, I will not read all the speech from the Tibetan Parliament. I will just read short passages from this. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the champion of peace, the supreme protector and refuge of the Tibetan people, whose real name, if I may say, utter it, due to your His Holiness, the noble vision of Avalokiteshvara, and also due to the prayer of all the Tibetan people, you were born in Kumbum, nearby where Jetongkhapa was born, with all the auspicious signs of a great being on this day. And according to the Tibetan calendar, you are now 80 years old, but according to the Western calendar, you are 79. And everywhere around the world, people are celebrating your birthday with great delight and fanfare. And we also pray that your His Holiness may live for eons and eons, and also may your noble visions and your wishes be fulfilled around the world. When we celebrate the occasion, the birthday celebration of any personality of the world, we also remind their life stories. And therefore, Tibetan people around the world are celebrating this occasion with great delight. And while we celebrate His Holiness the Dalai Lama's birthdays, we should also make a strong pledge, firm pledge, that we would keep His Holiness' advice in our hearts and carry them out. And since 1959, Tibetan nation has been suffering so much, and since we came into exile, His Holiness the Dalai Lama founded the democratic system of governance for us, and also started the middle way approach for the resolution of the Tibetan cause, as our Colin already had said, which I would not repeat here. But His Holiness the Dalai Lama's enlightened deeds are really vast, and he doesn't, without resting even for a second, His Holiness the Dalai Lama performs his enlightened deeds for the sake of all sentient beings. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama has made 3 divisions of the Tibetan, of Buddhist literature, which are the Buddhist science, Buddhist philosophy, and then Buddhist religion. And today we are actually launching the book on Buddhist science, which has been compiled. We're drawing material from the Kanjur and Tenjur, and this is being launched. and the many geishas, and headed by the abbot of Namgyal Monastery, Tromdok Rinpoche, and works on this tirelessly. And we are now, with this book, we are going to get a very good opportunity to study Buddhist science. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama, as His Holiness the Dalai Lama says everywhere, that for Buddhists it is very important to study Buddhism, and I would like to reaffirm that for everyone's sake. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama's enlightened deeds are really inconceivable and vast, and on this, His Holiness the Dalai Lama this time is conferring the 33rd Kalachakra initiation in Ladakh. As it is important to have the principle of taking refuge in the three jewels, to be able to carry out the practice of Dharma very purely. As such, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has been advising people to abstain from the practice of Hölgel, and we would like to thank His Holiness for his sound advice. And still we have very many ignorant people who are actually following the practice of Hölgel, and not only are they not being used by the by certain sections of people, and they are also urging other people to follow this practice. And so on this occasion, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Indian government and the people, and also the Jammu and Kashmir state, and the ministers and everyone concerned for their help to Tibetans. And together with that, I would like to also say it is very important for the Tibetans and the Ladakhi people to have a very strong bond and friendship between themselves. And I would like to thank the Ladakh government for having looked after the Tibetans very well so far, and I would also like to urge you to continue to do so. And then I would like to also thank all the governments, including the US government, for supporting the Tibetan people. The restrictions inside Tibet are getting tighter and tighter, and the Chinese government is using all sorts of means to put more restrictions. And since 7 years, over 130 people have self-immolated in Tibet, demanding the invitation of His Holiness Dalai Lama back to Tibet, and also for freedom for Tibet. So with your firm prayers and also the firm devotion of the Tibetan people, I would like to pray that all your noble visions be fulfilled without any difficulty.
Speaker Uskyong Anjuman Moinul Islam. Skujab Saifuddin Skundun La Juapulin Yaraika Pep State and Ran Sungshat Posalazat. Skujab Saifuddin.
Saifuddin, sorry.
Rinpoche Langyas, Shri Ngawang Rizin Jora, Honorable Minister, Urban Development and Local Bodies, Shri Rizin Spalber, Honorable Chief Executive Councillor, Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am proud, privileged to take this opportunity to extend my heartiest greetings to Your Holiness on your 79th birthday on behalf of Anjuman Mainul Islam Leh. People of Ladakh always blessed and benefited without caste, creed, and religion by your exalted character and moral teachings. Your Holiness has always stressed on coexistence of societies around the world. Muslims across the world look up to Your Holiness with great respect as a champion of peace and universal brotherhood. Your Holiness has been projecting Islam in various interfaith conferences as a religion of faith, religion of peace. The Buddhists and the Muslims of Ladakh living harmoniously centuries together, and Your Holiness's guidance and advice have further strengthened the bond of relationship between different communities. In this ongoing holy month of Ramzan, we pray for your long life and for fulfillment of your cherished goal and the aspiration of the people of Tibet. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Saifuddin. Na isting ne Anjuman Imame Uskyong, Skujab Ashraf Ali Skundun. Skujab Ashraf Ali Skundun.
His Holiness Dalai Lama Skundun, Rimboche Langes, yang diri kadai sikajuk setkan Skundun Pastachan, yang Puca Pumo Mimang Langes. Diring ma Sode Chanjik Sodnam Chanjik na Sorara,
For us, why this is going to get out. His Holiness himself is amongst us, and we are celebrating his 79th birthday, and therefore I feel that we are all very fortunate. And I would like to, from the depth of my heart, say Tashi Dele and greet and pray that we all pray that you live long. And so I have really nothing to say in front of you because you are a symbol of peace in the world today. And you have come again to Ladakh, and particularly while you give your advice to the Ladakhi people,
ma jizde chanjik gyurin nang ino
And
Ngadang
with-
sangmade
by seeing
Rewai.
you, we
kunduni tuksamen
hope
nangjin
that we'll have peace in Ladakh,
su chulluga
in the
stenkanji
people of,
yodna
within
gao
the people of
jiwa jizde
Ladakh.
nanga
And it's
Tatwa
our
yodna.
hope that
tene khong jalte
people
nangjin
following
Ngadang
all,
sangmade
whatever religion they are
devika
following,
laklen jate, yang
people
yu
are
ma
following,
sangma thangspo nang
that
tar
we
tu
will
chisinga dang sangmadi tondu jagwa shesno
practice whatever religion we are following. And so I have nothing much to say. I'd like to say thank you. And again, I'd like to pray.
Tuge che ka Ashraf Ali Skundun. Then is thing ne Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council chairman ka Rigzin Spalber Skundun.
This may be in English.
परम पावन दलाई लामा जी,
Oh, Hindi.
रिम्बोचे गण,
Your Holiness, His Holiness the Dalai Lama,
गेशे
and
खंडोगण,
Rinpoche, and geshes
Bhikshu
and
और
camp
भिक्षुणीगण,
abbots, and
Mantri
bhikshus and
Mahodayagण,
bhikshunis, and ministers,
मंच
and
विशिष्ट
everyone,
अतिथिगण,
the
और यहाँ
dignitaries on
एकत्रित हुए
stage,
श्रद्धालु,
and everyone gathered
परम
here.
पावन दलाई लामा जी के 79वें जन्मदिन को मनाने के लिए
79th birthday anniversary of His
इस
Holiness the Dalai
ऐतिहासिक
Lama
अवसर
that we are
पर
celebrating,
हम
historic
सभी लोग
occasion.
शांतिवन में
On
एकत्रित
this
हुए हैं
historic occasion, we are
इस
all
शुभ
gathered
अवसर
here.
का
And
पूर्ण
on this
लाभ
very
उठाते हुए
auspicious occasion, I'm
मैं
taking
परम पावन
every
दलाई लामा जी
the
को
full
लद्दाख
opportunity
स्वायत्त पर्वतीय विकास परिषद तथा लद्दाख के
and
संपूर्ण जनता जनार्दन की
the Hill
ओर
Council
से
Development of
हार्दिक
Ladakh
बधाई देता हूं
and all the people of Ladakh.
और
I would like to
महामहिम
greet Your His Holiness
पूज्य
from
दलाई
the
लामा
depths of
जी
my
को
heart.
दीर्घ
And
जीवन के लिए तथागत बुद्ध से
And
कामना करता हूं
so that His Holiness may live very long,
इसके साथ
I am
साथ
also praying to
यहाँ
Tathagata
पर
Buddha.
श्री काल चक्र के
And
आयोजन में सम्मिलित होने वाले विभिन्न क्षेत्र जैसे लाहौल
So
स्पीति
people from
Kinnaur,
around the world, around
Arunachal
different
Pradesh,
places, Lord Spiti
Bhutan,
and all
Sikkim
these
तथा
places,
देश
who have
विदेश
come
से
to the
पधारे
33rd Kalachakra
समस्त
initiation.
श्रद्धालुओं की ओर से परम पावन दलाई लामा जी को पुनः पुनः जन्म दिवस पर अभिनंदन करते हैं बधाई देते हैं
So I would like to greet His Holiness on this occasion, the
Pavan ji,
79th birthday,
यहाँ पर
on
पधारे
behalf of everyone gathered
समस्त
here from around the
श्रद्धालुओं
world.
का सौभाग्य है कि आपके महान
So it is
अनुकंपा
our
से
fortune that
तीसरी बार
His Holiness the
लद्दाख
Dalai
में
Lama
श्री काल चक्र
has,
का
is
आयोजन
giving
हो
this
रहा है
33rd Kalachakra initiation in
सभी
Ladakh.
अपने
This is the
आप को
third time that he's
अत्यंत ही
giving the
भाग्यवान
Kalachakra initiation
मानते
in Ladakh, and
सन
we are
1959
consider
से
ourselves very fortunate.
पूर्व लद्दाख के गुणपाओं से लामा विद्यार्थीगण तिब्बत जाकर वहां के प्रसिद्ध महाबोधों जैसे
So in the
रसभू,
past,
सेरा, गदन,
Tibetan, the
President
Ladakhi
Sara
people,
Choling,
Ladakhi
आदि
monks
जाकर
go to
पंच
Tibet
महाविद्याओं
and
का अध्ययन
join
करते
the
थे
great monasteries like
जहाँ पर
Teshulampo and
संपूर्ण
Jepung and
खर्चा
Sera and God and so forth.
गोपाओं द्वारा
And
उठाए जाते थे परम पवन जी
They
हम
they
लद्दाखवासी
carry out their studies
आपके महान उपकार
of
का
the great, the classic
कदापि भूल नहीं
treatises.
सकते
We cannot forget
राजा
Your Holiness,
ठिसुंगदेसन
the
आचार्य
Tibetan,
संतरक्षिता
how we
एवं
are
गुरु
grateful
पद्मा
to
संभाव के समय से
the
चले आ रहे
Tibetan
निंगमा,
people.
कग्युर, सख्या
For example,
और गेलुक्पा
since the time of the
संप्रदाय का
Tibetan
विकास
kings, Tizung
तिब्बत से
Detsen,
लद्दाख में
and who
फले
invited
फूले
Guru Pratna
जो
Sambhava
मूलतः
and also
प्राचीन
Kshandrakshita and so forth.
विश्वविख्यात
Since then,
नालंदा विश्वविद्यालय के परंपरा के
the
अनुरूप है।
Nalanda University tradition
जब तिब्बत
of
स्वतंत्र देश
Buddhism
था,
has been
उस समय लद्दाख के
established in
विभिन्न
Tibet,
गुम्फाओं से
and when
लामा
Tibet
छत्र
ज्ञान अर्जन करने के लिए तिब्बत जाकर अपने
was
अपने
free.
संप्रदाय के गोम्पाओं में
Ladakhi
अध्ययन
lamas
करके
and monks go to
विद्वान,
Tibet to do
गेशे,
their studies,
खनपो,
and then they become
लारंपा,
geshes,
आदि
Geshe
उपाधि
Harampas
लेकर
and abbots
लौट
and
आते
also
और यहाँ के
rinpoches
जनता को
and so forth,
अपने ज्ञान से
and then come back
लाभान्वित
to
करते
their homeland here and
लद्दाख
spread
के
the teaching of the
समस्त
Buddha
जनता
to their people.
एवं संपूर्ण हिमालय क्षेत्र के लोग परम
लद्दाख
पावन दलाई लामा जी
and the
और तिब्बती
Himalayan
सरकार
region
के उपकार को
people,
कदापि नहीं भूल सकते
and we
वर्तमान समय में भी
cannot forget
हजारों के संख्या में
even for a second
लामा
the
छात्र,
kindness of the Tibetan
सेरा,
people
रस्मो,
and His
गगन,
Holiness the Dalai Lama,
कशिलुंपु
the Tibetan
आदि
administration,
महाविहारों में
and
शिक्षा
in these
ग्रहण
big
कर रहे हैं
Tibetan monastic
इसके
institutions
अतिरिक्त
like Tashilhumpu,
बहुत
Debung
सारे
Garden,
छात्र
Sera, and
एवं
so forth.
छात्राएं
Many
भी
of
केंद्र
our
तिब्बती विद्यालयों में
monks are
शिक्षा ले
studying
रहे हैं
even today.
महामहिम परम पावन दलाई लामा जी के निरंतर प्रदान किए गए उपदेशों और शिक्षा का
So
परिणाम
they are
ये हुआ
also
है
paying heed
कि
to the
विभिन्न
advice of His
संप्रदायों के
Holiness the
बीच
Dalai
में
Lama.
सांप्रदायिक सौहार्द एवं सद्भाव को मजबूती मिली और समाज में सुख और शांति का वातावरण कायम हुआ सारांश
Sorry, I couldn't understand the
परम पावन
bombastic
दलाई
English
लामा जी
Hindi.
के आशीर्वचनों से समाज में मैत्री करुणा
So there
मोदीजी,
we have
धार्मिक
uh,
सामाजिक सांस्कृतिक
love, compassion,
नैतिक,
peace,
शिक्षा,
friendship,
पर्यावरण
and
सुरक्षा तथा सांप्रदायिक सद्भाव का बढ़ाने में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान रहा
security, and so
मैं
forth.
पुनः अपने ओर से लद्दाख स्वायत्त
Thanks
पर्वतीय
to
विकास
the
परिषद
blessings of His
जिला
Holiness
प्रशासन,
Dalai Lama,
लद्दाख के
and
समस्त जनता
I would like to,
तथा
on
यहाँ
behalf of the
एकत्रित
Ladakh
समस्त
district,
श्रद्धालुओं की
Ladakh
ओर से
um,
महामहिम
Council,
परम पावन दलाई लामा
and
जी
Ladakh
के
people,
79वें जन्म दिवस
on
पर
this 79th
हार्दिक बधाई
anniversary,
एवं
birth anniversary of His Holiness the
शुभकामनाएं
Dalai
प्रकट
Lama, I would like to
और
greet His Holiness the
इस
Dalai
अवसर
Lama
पर
from the
ये
depths of my
आश्वासन
heart.
देते हैं कि इस समय जबकि पूरा तिब्बत संकट
At
की
this
घड़ियों से
time,
गुजर रहा है
when Tibet is
उस
going
समय
through a
में
very terrible time
संपूर्ण
in their
हिमालय
history,
क्षेत्र
the
विशेषकर
people
लद्दाख
of the
के सभी
Himalayan
संप्रदाय
region
किसी भी धर्म से
and
नाता
also
रखता
the
हो,
people of
हम
Ladakh, whatever
आपका
religion we are following,
बताए हुए आपके दिखाए हुए
we
उपदेश और परवानों पर
will
चलने का भरपूर प्रयास करेंगे
your
और हम ये
advice
भी
and try to
आश्वासन
practice
देते हैं
your
कि आपके
whatever
दिखाए
you have
हुए
advised
मध्यम
us.
मार्गी पर चलकर तिब्बत का
And
एक शांतिपूर्ण समाधान शीघ्र से शीघ्र निकल आए
We
इसके
also
साथ
pray
मैं पुनः
that the
अल्लाह
Tibetan
को
issue
बधाई
may be
देता हूँ।
resolved and
धन्यवाद।
that free peace and prosperity be there in Tibet.
धन्यवाद श्री रिग्जिंस पालवर जी इस थिंग ने तनगाताय गलखा के फोम यारग्या से लोनपो स्कुजाप नावांग रिग्जिन जोरा स्कुंदुन
The Urban Development Minister of Jammu and Kashmir State, Ngawang Rizing Jora. In
His
Hindi.
Holiness the Dalai Lama, may I, on behalf of the people of Ladakh, extend our heartiest greetings on your 79th birthday. We have been celebrating your birthday here in Ladakh every year without fail. This year, we feel blessed with your physical presence on the occasion. Ladakh has the unique distinction of having been given the opportunity to host the Kalachakra initiation 3 times. The first time was in 78 in Leh, at this very place. The second one was in 1988 in Zanskar. And this time again, for 2014 Kalachakra, you have chosen Ladakh. This reflects the special bond that Your Holiness shares with the people of Ladakh. We feel highly indebted to Your Holiness for having given our opportunity to all our monks
to study in the universities in South India, in Karnataka. Way back in the 60s, we had only one kachin and maybe one or two geshes. Today, we see hundreds of geshes and many, many kachins, and this has all been possible because of the opportunity that you have afforded the monks from Ladakh as well as from the other Himalayan regions. Your Holiness has helped us bring about a cultural renaissance in Ladakh. Earlier on, way back in the 60s, Ladakhis had developed an inferiority complex vis-a-vis the rest of India. Your Holiness's visit to Ladakh and guidance in matters of dharma have given us confidence, have given us the pride in our culture. And today, every Ladakhi feels very, very proud of being Buddhist, of being Ladakhi, of being Indian. Your Holiness is to the 21st century what Gandhi was to the 20th century. Apostle of peace, the strongest votary of ahimsa, non-violence, peace and harmony. We feel blessed by Your Holiness's visit to Ladakh very frequently. May I once again express our greetings and our Teshidilek to Your Holiness on your 79th birthday. May I also wish Your Holiness long life and continued guidance to the people of Ladakh and indeed the entire Himalaya. Thank you, Your Holiness.
Thank you, Kan Aurigzin Jora. Tasting ne Tenengatan Ladakh Yom se Gonpa Sokdu se Uskyong, Geshe Konchok Namgyab Skundun.
Diri Chungskar Tuseni Yagae, Skundoni So, Gonsal Hamin Namden Skiam Gonjawambo, Tamjaki, Sipachambo, Donjile to Sanamoste, Yonzo Tambengada, Yazan Yonzoki Dako, Gonsal Hamin Namden Yawambo Chokang, Gadan Chirimboche Zube, Kampo Rimboche Gindumbal Hanjas, Mato Dharamsale, Kashak Hanjas Tang, Lag Yuljonsi, Spondol Hanjas, Ni Lada Mimang Dizo Hagoya Chetu, Lada Kela Juchot. Jakang Nangatang, Yango Rimboche Chunkas to Senbo, Ladala Yutkani Nampa Undang, Potnu Tuno Arsinjiktan Ino, Tetesana, Yawa Rimboche Yushis Langatang, Kupala Jaldat Pulcheshik Mene, Skango Rimboche Justa Mekia. The last in our to score on Zen Tang Sum to Sosum Pescabla, Skango Rimboche Mosu Juste, Chunkas to Sen Stitches for. Mata la Yutkani Mimang Sangma, Gindunba Sangma, Potmi Sangma, Kilok Nashukan Sangme, so the Sonami no Samarak Nijang Samerto. Yawarimboche, Gulor Dunchu Ton Suma Tongua Peftaino, Inang Tarung, Yawarimboche Nisamarak, La Yang Pefsino. So
he's saying we'll have more opportunities for His Holiness to come to Ladakh and listen to his teaching. But it's not just, we should not just celebrate His Holiness the Dalai Lama's birthday anniversary. What we must do is to actually practice, heed what His Holiness advises us to do. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense for us to have His Holiness and to listen to His. So as it is said in the Samandabhadra prayer, that we make oceans of offering through our practice. And so we must also heed what His Holiness advises us. So after coming into exile, the enlightened activities of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, enlightened activity has been as almost like like a second the Buddha. So we would like to pray to His Holiness that you come to Ladakh again and again. Buddhists, Muslims, Balti, and the Christians, we all live as one family in Ladakh. So I actually think that this is because of his heeding His Holiness Dalai Lama's advice to us. So we have all the Tibetan Buddhist traditions, Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya, Gelug, and all the lamas of all these different traditions are very friendly with one another, and this also, I think, is due to because of heeding His Holiness the Dalai Lama's advice to us. So it is due to our own prayers as well as the noble vision of His Holiness Dalai Lama and his compassion that His Holiness is coming here to Ladakh again and again. And so we also should pray for this to continue. So I was told that I have only 3 minutes to give my speech. And so just as we heard from the Tibetan Kalun Tripa's speech read by the Tibetan Minister of Religion, and also in which it is actually said that the Ladakhi people should help the Tibetan people. So I have told him that we actually are like one people. Ladakhis and Tibetans here in Ladakh are like one people, that people will not be able to differentiate between us. So while His Holiness is here, I would like to pray that His Holiness the Dalai Lama live for tens of thousands of aeons, and that freedom, the sun of freedom would shine in Tibet, and that His Holiness the Dalai Lama is back in Purdala. We all pray and we support. Someday Tibet will be free. So I pray for that. And especially on behalf of all the monasteries of Ladakh, I pray that His Holiness Dalai Lama may live for tens of thousands of aeons, and there may be religious harmony amongst the people of the world, and that people live in peace and Tashidelek to everybody.
두개체 계실라 tene isting ne Ladakh nangpe chokdu seuskyong Dr. Tundup Chewang Skundun.
Refuge, the incomparable refuge of all sentient beings, and peace, champion of peace in the world, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and the Rinpoches, Tulkus, reincarnate lamas, and also the dignitaries and Ladakhis and the Himalayan people from the Himalayan region, and also people around the world. According to our record, it is according to the registration, 100,800 people have 108,000 people have registered, and we are all gathered here for the Kalachakra 33rd Kalachakra initiation, and we 79th birthday anniversary of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and therefore on behalf of the Kalachakra organizing committee and all the people of Ladakh and everyone here, on behalf of everyone, I would like to, from the depths of my heart, wish His Holiness happy birthday and pray for his good health and to live long. I pray for these to His Holiness. About 2 or 3 years ago, His Holiness had promised that he will be here every year in Ladakh, and therefore Ladakh Buddhist Association or the Ladakh Monastery Association or all the religious traditions of Ladakh, as His Holiness has promised to come here in Ladakh every year, and we also receive his advice and teachings, and we also heed his advice and have very good experience and also religious harmony, and we're able to live in peace and harmony amongst the different religions and people, and due to His Holiness the Dalai Lama advice. So what His Holiness tells us is to have a good motivation and also behave well and to have moral principles. So we are all gathered here. So with the help of the different organizations, Jammu Kashmir government, Private Secretary of His Holiness the Dalai Lama have helped us to organize this Kalachakra, 33rd Kalachakra in Ladakh, and I would like to thank everyone who have supported us. His Holiness the Dalai Lama is a universal spiritual leader, not only for Buddhists, but all the religious traditions. People of all the religious traditions have respect His Holiness. And so His Holiness' message is love, compassion, and also the middle way approach, and also His Holiness received the Nobel Peace Prize and Templeton Award and so forth for his spread teachings of love and compassion. And so we all know that His Holiness the Dalai Lama is a manifestation, a true manifestation of Chenrezig, a Buddha of compassion, and so it is our fortune that we have His Holiness amongst us. So, His Holiness Dalai Lama always has compassion and love towards people.
Ngatang jalmiun last pa jalmiun la India karu chana rana khangpa chokla tene potpanguni izin nurbi katin yang rimbo chenguni katin la gompa duksa duk te samangatang jet go.
So in for Ladakhi people, wherever
secured, so long as you visit,
okay,
rest
in
of
English.
the country, they have created opportunity ngatang samate sama ngatang sema jakte.
So he's saying that the Ladakhi people have the opportunity wherever they go in India, that we feel secure to be able to live with the Tibetan people wherever they are. So we pray for His Holiness to live long and that his noble visions be fulfilled, and also that we pray for His Holiness to return to Tibet, and also to have autonomy, genuine autonomy for Tibetans, and everyone, not only Buddhists, but even Muslims and Christians and so forth. Always we follow His Holiness Dalai Lama's advice, and we will do so in the future as well. And thank you, everyone.
His Holiness, I privilege and feel honored to announce one of the popular. His Holiness, it's my privilege to announce one of the popular students of His Holiness.
So this lady is possessed by or going to trance and always calls on His Holiness. Kajiri di pomudi. Nangmi kajirda. Da bet kaji nangmi bet to lo sharmo. Da bet lo sharmo ran karachine. Guru Rambo. Katugo masuji. Andre. Da sangane gozor nidon gune. Nidon jukjini. Ta hayes. Da yere.
His Holiness, it's my privilege and honor to announce one of the most popular students of His Holiness, Hollywood actor Richard Gere, who is with us. So I request Richard Gere to speak few words on behalf of the Westerner who have come to attend this 33rd Kalachakra. Mr. Richard Gere.
Hello, Tashidale. I think it's a little anticlimactic right now, me coming out here. After the spirits came to pay their respects, that was very nice of them. This is an extraordinary moment, I think, for all of us. But I'll give you a private moment from my life. I met His Holiness the Dalai Lama, had the extraordinary opportunity and blessing to meet him 33 years ago in Dharamsala. The first place I went after meeting His Holiness was Ladakh. And we took a long trek through Ladakh and through Zanskar. And so it's always had a very special place in my heart. And I come back here. This is the first time I've been back to Leh. I was in Zanskar when His Holiness did Kalachakra in 1988, I think it was. I think it was 88, yeah. But this is my first time in Ladakh in 33 years now. And you must know, you live in one of the most beautiful places on the planet. And it seems to get more and more beautiful all the time. I was asked to come up here and say a few words. One as a longtime student, friend, devotee of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, but also someone who is just incredibly humble, as I think we all are, that we are able to live in the same time on this small planet Earth, that a great one, such as the Dalai Lama, walks the same earth with us. The fact that we live at the same time is amazing. The fact that we've heard his name is even more amazing. The fact that we've been able to actually take teachings from His Holiness the Dalai Lama is something extraordinary. And you know that we all have the karma to be here right now is an extraordinary thing that we can be proud of in our own lives and our previous actions to lead us here. I know this is an amazing event. I think there are over 100,000 people here now, but that's not even counting the children under the age of 15. So I think that makes it like 120,000 people so far. And I think that builds up every day. I think there's going to be close to 150,000 people here. But I've seen this all over the world. And I don't know if the Tibetans here and the Ladakhis understand the influence that His Holiness has had all over the world. We had an event, several events in Central Park where over 200,000 people came. I've been in events in Mexico City where 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 people come to see His Holiness. In Barcelona, in London, in places all over the world, people have been touched by His Holiness for no other reason than he speaks truth to our hearts. He has changed people's lives. He's changed the vibration on this planet. And I know my life has changed enormously by the fact that I have been able to take teachings from him. I'm really here now on behalf of the 4,000 foreigners who I think are over in this area over here. Where are the foreigners? So on behalf of those 4,000 friends who've come from Europe and South America, I know all over the rest of the world, I want to send their very best regards to you, Your Holiness, on your 79th birthday. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you, Richard Gay. Ngatang changme tinchan sawe lama. Zamling jizde de ponchenpo. Galwa ijing nurbu chok solwa tabin. Diringi I skui tungskar dunchu torgu peskaps. Rimboche ken ngaja mimang sangmala kalopchik nangal.
To Tenzin Sepak. His Holiness just said, is this another is this another trance? A lady came into trance a little bit ago, and His Holiness seems to notice another person coming into trance. His Holiness said, bring him up in the front. First of all, Ganden Rinpoche, the public who have gathered here, to all this person, His Holiness he comes into trance sometimes. His Holiness, the lady who came into trance earlier, she says she's Pandil Hamo. This one seems, I think he has already come into trance earlier. He is an ancient protector of Tibet.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's Nyenchen Tangla. His Holiness has already recognized him as Nyenchen Tangla. Now the trance has just finished. His Holiness says Nyenchen Tangla. He's a contemporary of Tisong Dilse, 8th century. Has actor of the Tibetan king Tisong Dilse, 8th century. So my birthday has coincided with Kalachakra today. So today we have a gathering of both religious and political leaders here on the stage, and also so many public of Ladakh and public from Western countries have especially arrived here, and for Tibetans. So for all of you, you have come here to greet me and to today here in Leh-Ladakh, the people of Ladakh, visitors, and especially those of you who have come from Western countries, physically present here and making prayers for me, my welfare, my well-being, and greeting me. And those who are not physically present here, but who are in faraway places, but through their mind, especially those in Tibet who have deep connection with me, wishing me good wishes. And also those people who are physically not allowed to celebrate my birthday, but are in their mind celebrating my birthday. I would like to thank all of them. And also the people of Mongolia and the people of Mongolian descent in Russia, who have so strong connection, historical connection, and close bond with Tibet. I have heard that they have organized a special birthday celebration for me in there. I would like to thank them all, and also Chinese Dharma brothers and sisters Taiwanese of Chinese descent in Taiwan are also celebrating my birthday in Taiwan. That's what I heard. And also in China, mainland China also, even though people are not allowed to openly celebrate my birthday, are in their hearts wishing me greetings and well-being. I would like to thank them all. Also Tibetans all over India who are not here, and also people of the Himalayan regions who are Buddhist by tradition, who have connection with me, relationship with me. As I have always said, as I always say, India and Tibet have guru-disciple relationship. In our tradition, we have the 5 sciences, 5 traditional sciences of knowledge, especially Buddhism. They all came from India, especially they were the products or the contribution of great masters of Nalanda. A great Tibetan master had said that Tibet is a country surrounded by mountains. Therefore, it's called the snowland, land of snows. And the color of snow is white, and it's bright. But but before the light of Dharma came to Tibet, Tibet was a dark country. But ever since the Dharma of Buddha Shakyamuni came to Tibet, then Tibet got illuminated. Tibet became a brightly lit country. And that is an extremely true statement. Therefore, our brothers and sisters of India, I'm sure there are many Indian brothers and sisters all over India who are also wishing me good best wishes and congratulations on this day. I would like to thank all of them also. And ever since we have become refugees in India, and due to that, we have been able to travel to all kinds of places. Whenever I meet different new people of different races, religion in other places, or wherever I go, I never think I am Buddhist, I am Tibetan, I am monk. I just think I am a monk, I am a person, I am a human being, just as the other person I'm meeting is a human being. Therefore, I immediately feel a sense of brotherhood, fellow human feeling. Therefore, I have friends all everywhere. I have friends in Islam, in Hinduism, in Jewish religion, in Christianity. So, I have also friends among people who don't have belief in any religion, like scientists, academicians. Many of them don't have any interest in religion, but still we have genuine warm feelings, a human feeling towards each other. From the scientific point of view, human warm feeling is gaining new interest in today's time. So, in many places around the world, I am there are many people.
나도 동주 주제를 이 상황로 미치고래 대화도 미치고래 동해면도 미치고래 아니 심 시디 두고 열에데 이네스는 남도 루징제 아니 서머지면 여도 봐 지고로다 자자가 믹스에 쳐야 계속 시험 말해. 미치 거려 봐. 미 상황로리야. 지금 남주 여보 지거려 봐. 미 동주 된주스 이디 말에 잡스타래. 마이 누슈 소래. 마초르 규베 간다치 소소 년제기 세외 장배 원에 나서 미지디 두 소래라 미지 두 산을 좀 그래. 자장 나는 사물로리야. 생기기 미치기 싸웠어야 돼. 이해돼 버려. 자, 디레이드 산에 미스토위네. 대원 잡아도 등에 민도바다. 등에 영해야 돼. 남도 룬징체 등에 영해야 돼. 대원 영해야 돼. 찍찍 싸워요는 이지 용대야. 이지 요는 저부 차트야. 저부 요는 로데부 차트야. 직남매 봐. 윤구이만 인도산에 와다 미스토위네. 당고대 미치주의 배진 배터네. 다 사월로 등에 민도바다 대원 인도산에 디도 싸워서 도구요래. 시계긴 타다 세세야지 용퇴요.
See them as a fellow human being, desiring happiness and not desiring unhappiness. There's no way we can eliminate all the suffering in the world. But as long as we have internal peace, love, and compassion, and internal stability, no matter how much difficult, how big is our adverse situation, how big the external difficulty is, we can still remain calm and internally sort of peaceful.
Semi ngata namstop just then draminda sambangam pakospa te wangi ngata samala dungal yanos kalte ngata semate sambang hanpa te namsong hanpa bo metpa te phansem te so samba jangbo chona te ngata saman diski jungche poko ranjinji nos tonta mi te tunjur dunchubo te na dunchubo changmala te ama yutkano ama te amepia samepia sammesemsena stewa yonos ama stewa yutkan sola te ngata nyentumpo tenata zawongose chikta chikla stewa yut pasang ten skitpo yonga normal tenata samsik chikta china da stewa micho ten tundel micho te macho nagato te jaste ngata skitpo yonga mano dukpo yonga nos te som pasang tenata mi chikta chia tundel borche sang ten chikta chia stewa zeche sang ten chikta chi dunga seche se tabla ngata same bado sanos ten tonta ta chi galchen ma mangpo ji yonga te sangma metken chozene chungen chi metken osna inna ata sembo duste sema chamba na sewaji gale
madani
ngata
para no ki sam sago na khala
samara nyenna samara zawa gyure no osna
tene다
ta gozuda
다리께서 정물인데 미 장가디 수자 폐열에
in today's world, the human population has increased. And poverty has also proportionally increased as a result of that. In this scenario, the global environment has also declined, and so therefore now environmental situation has reached a crisis stage, and it's very important to give proper care and attention to environmental preservation, including the ecosystem and wildlife like that. And here in Ladakh, I have noticed that here you have some programs to take care of environment and wildlife. That is very important. My second commitment or objective, I am a Buddhist monk, And in this world, all the major religions, all emphasize on the basic human values, and in that respect, they're all same. Whether it's Islam, Christianity, Jewish, Buddhism, like that. So their basic fundamental teaching is non-violence, love, compassion. So now, non-violence doesn't mean non-violence out of fear. The real non-violence is non-violence out of compassion, respect. You know, if we don't harm somebody out of the motivation or out of the feeling that it is an immoral act, it is an abusive act, and if I commit a violent act that will harm that other person or other being, then that is real non-violence. Therefore, so even if, and also forgiveness. So these are there in all religions, all major religions. Stress on these basic human values. Of course, all these different religious systems have different philosophical tenets. That is not a problem. In fact, it is good that we have more than one philosophical tenet, because there are people have different dispositions and have different ways of thinking, and these different philosophical tenets fulfill their suit or rather meet their psychological and philosophical sort of needs. So these days there are, religious intolerance in Burma, Sri Lanka. When we sometimes, when I heard of religious intolerance, especially in Buddhist countries, I used to tell them, for example, when some Muslim minorities are under attack, I used to tell the Buddhist community, just imagine the Buddha's face. The Buddha says, taught us non-violence. And the Buddha is like, especially has special compassion and love for those who are downtrodden and weaker. So even among Muslims, there are troubles between Sunni and Shias. And there are also there are problems between Christians. So why are all these problems happening? Our religions teach us to practice love and compassion. So we claim to be followers of our different religious systems, of our religious teachers. But still, in practice, we are doing the opposite, being violent and harmful. So if we are true practitioners, true followers of our religious teachings, then we have to try to our best to stick, implement the teaching of our religious teachings. So it is not that religious harmony is an impossible goal. It is possible. So what we have to do is we have to have more frequent interaction and talk to each other, discuss each other about our my third commitment or objective, being a Tibetan, my 6 million Tibetan people put their hope in me. And because of that, I have a natural responsibility over them, especially the Tibetan Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhist culture, which developed in Tibet, is a tradition which is based, which comprises a comprehensive Buddhism, including Mahayana, Vajrayana, and the entire Vinaya system, based on logic and reasoning. So it is a unique and complete form of Buddhism on the face of this earth. So, in this tradition of Tibetan, there's a academic study on how defining what is what is a right mode of perception, what is wrong mode of perception, and what is the correct view, what is incorrect view, and so on, in great detail. So therefore I usually, very often stress that the Tibetan tradition is the Nalanda tradition. And to those who are non-believers, especially academicians and scientists, many of them, those who I have met, are greatly impressed with this tradition of Nalanda masters of analyzing the human psychology through logic and reasoning. So, within Tibetan Buddhism, we can make a category: Tibetan Buddhist science, Buddhist Buddhist practiced, and Buddhist philosophy. So, on the basis of such a categorization, we are definite that Tibetan Buddhism can make a definite contribution to the larger human community on this earth. So this culture, this civilization, this knowledge is a great contribution of Tibetans. And of course, as a result of the Nalanda masters, only today many scholars are saying that the Tibetan language is the only language which can describe, which can which can describe the Nalanda tradition of Buddhist science in the greatest depth. And therefore, as Tibetans, to preserve the Nalanda tradition that thrived in Tibet, that flourished in Tibet, and the Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist philosophical tenet is extremely important for a Tibetan to preserve them. So as a Tibetan, we consider this tradition as almost like our heart and soul. And this is the very the cream of Tibetan civilization, and to further promote it and preserve it and propagate it in the world. This, I think, is the greatest mission of Tibetans. And so political situation changes from time to time. For example, in the 8th, 9th, 10th century in Asia, scholars say There are three emperors: Chinese emperor, Mongolian emperor, and Tibetan emperor. These scholars say this because after doing research on Chinese literature and various kind of ancient sources, from the age of 16 until age 79, I have taken the responsibility of Tibet and Tibetan culture. I am not sort of calling for separating Tibet, splitting Tibet from China today. I am sort of pursuing a policy that will benefit both Chinese and China and Tibet. And to promote Tibetan culture and preserve Tibetan tradition. And many Chinese intellectuals and knowledgeable Chinese are supporting this view. And and this group of people is increasing more and more. So most important for us is to preserve our distinct language, religion, and culture. And as far as politics, our political goal is concerned, as I said before, we want a win-win. We are pursuing a win-win solution which will benefit both China and Chinese people and Tibetan people. So, to all of you who have gathered here physically and to who are not here physically, my message to all of you is these three commitments that I'm trying to promote. And you all, I consider you all as my friends. We are all fellow human beings. It's our responsibility to make this world a more peaceful and happier place, make the 21st century a century of peace, harmony, cooperation. And wherever you are staying, engage in acts to promote religious harmony and friendship and understanding between religions in the area where you are staying. And thirdly, please clarify to everybody the cause of our political policy of middle path. Problems and crisis will be there all the time. It will never end. But when we try to overcome them, we have to adopt a non-violence human approach. That is the. So if we use common sense, all our problems being human problem, we have to use human approach, which is a natural human reflex to solve the problems. We shouldn't resort to taking arms and violence, because look back into history. Every time there's a problem, people have used, resorted to violence as a means to solve the problem. And each time one problem is overcome, another problem rises. So there will never be an end to this cycle of violence and problem. So we so far have adopted a non-violent approach, a human approach, and a middle way approach to our political cause and struggle with China. And this should be an example to the world a political struggle based on non-violence, win-win solution. So if one day, let's say, we will not achieve any result through our non-violent approach, then maybe then people will say, oh, then non-violent approach is a useless approach. Look at the Tibetan struggle. It never yielded any result, despite such a long struggle.